Hi besties, welcome back to Jikoni Magic's Meza. So today we're going to be learning all about electric pressure cookers. So without much further ado, let's just dive right on in and then I'll talk to you as it goes on. So what you can see in front of you are three types of EPCs, electric pressure cookers that is, and I wanted to show you the different types that you can find in the market. There they go. I've turned them on so that you can understand them better. This one is a dial. That's how you operate it. You just toggle through the different settings that you want. And then once you're satisfied with the setting that you are after, you simply press start. And there it goes. And oops, I had not closed the lid. And then there it goes and it will start cooking, okay? But since we don't want it to start heating up, it's empty inside, I'll stop it. Then we also have this, and it's a dial. This is what we call the analog kind of electric pressure cookers. Not to say that there's anything wrong with them, they've got their place. So this one is a very simple one. What you do is you simply take the dial round until it reaches the time that you want. Leave it there. It's going to rotate back and it's going to call you, or rather alert you that it's finished cooking when you hear that sound. You heard that? Yeah, it dings. And then finally, we have this other kind of pressure cookers. It is the one that has the menus here, the preset menus, and all you have to do is select the kind of food that you want to cook if you want to go with the presets, okay? Or you can just go ahead and select the pressure cooking function and set your own time. So yeah, these are the three kinds of pressure cookers. Now let me turn them off so that I can open them and show you how they look like on the inside. Now let's look at the lids. The lids look very, very similar, okay? So the common thing about the lids is this. Number one, they will all have a pressure regulating valve that's there. And it's the one that will either be used to release the steam once you're done cooking, or you put it on the sealing position where the steam is trapped inside, okay? This is how the inside of the lid looks like. They all have this silicone gasket, okay? It's a bit wet. So this silicone gasket is the one that sometimes can be the culprit of very many problems because it tends to trap smells. And then they have this part that serves the purpose of stopping any food that's frothing from going through here to come and get here, okay? So that this does not block your pressure release valve. Once this one blocks, then things begin to get thick. So again, let me show you the lid of the Sayona. You can see same thing plus the silicone gasket, which is here. And for the Moulinex, same thing going on. As you can see, all the lids look similar, okay? And in case you're wondering, mbona leo tujapika and this is a cooking channel, don't worry, check out the link that I'm gonna leave up here in the info bar up above. That's a tongue twister. In the info bar up above, or I'm gonna leave the link also in the description box down below for you. So yeah, I got you covered. So next, let's talk about the inner pots, the inserts. They are of two kinds in the market. Rather, there are three, although I'm not displaying one here. There's one that is aluminium with a non-stick coating. And then the other one is a stainless steel inner pot, okay? So it's you to decide what it is you want, your needs, if they are being met. The way you take care of these two is very different. For the stainless steel, it can take a lot of rough handling, although don't get too rough. Once you finish cooking, you can scrub it with steel wool. It's totally okay. It can take a lot of rough handling. However, when it comes to the non-sticks, what you have to remember is to use your silicone tipped spatulas or wooden spoons to stir your food so that you do not scratch the surface. Because once you start interfering with the non-stick coating, then you lose all those good things that come with non-stick. And by the way, in the next episode, I am going to talk about
cooking rice in the electric pressure cooker and in the rice cooker. Okay, I'll be comparing for you the costs of electricity in both devices, and then you can end up comparing for yourself which is better for you. And I'm also going to give you tips on how to ensure that every time you cook rice in either of the devices, that it ends up being successful. Please make sure that you hit the notification bell so that that particular episode does not pass you by.
The other thing that is the same throughout all the EPCs is the fact that this outer casing or the housing is the one that has the element. This is the electric element in here. So it's the one that comes and heats up your insert, okay, or what we call in Kenya the sufuria. And it is the same in all the EPCs that we have here. Like when we look inside the Mulinex, same thing, okay. And when we look inside the Sayona, same thing, there is a heating element.
And in case this is the kind of informative content that appeals to you, please make sure that you let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. In that way, then I can keep creating content that is of use to you. And subscribe while you're at it, because you know 70% of you who are watching me right now are not yet subscribed. I mean, it only takes you 1 second. Bonyeza kidude.
Now let's talk about the other similar thing that you're going to find in all the EPCs, and that happens to be the outer casing. Now this is the one that provides the insulation when you're cooking. The insulation helps to trap in the heat, and that heat is the one that will make your food cook faster. So next, let's go ahead and talk about cleaning your EPCs, because this is a very long-term investment and you do not want to spoil it. You want it to last as long as it possibly can. Let me open this. When it comes to washing them, the first thing that you have to do is remove this silicone gasket. Okay, remove the silicone gasket and make sure that you clean it up very well, because it is going to retain smells. If you make curry, it's gonna retain that smell, okay? Next, you will take your Super Bright or whatever it is that you use to scrub and wash the entire lid. Turn it over, wash the lid, okay? Make sure that it is sparkling. This does come out. So you're seeing this hole in here. So this, try as much as possible to get a small brush that you'll be washing in here, because you do not want this part to be blocked. Then the next thing is you're going to wash around here. Make sure that the place is clean. Try as much as possible to wash inside that tiny hole. Get rid of uchafu water that might be in there, okay? You do not want any blockages. This part also comes off. If you have a knife, you can just remove it, wash, make sure you return. Now, the part that I do not want you to interfere with at all is this part. If this thing gets lost, you're doomed, because it will never build pressure. So be very careful when it comes to this part, okay? It is the one that comes and so let me show you on another one that is quite obvious. Okay, so let me show you with the Mulinex lid that is obvious. So the part I was talking of is this part. Don't joke with it. For the NutriCook, it was red. For this one, it's just that color that you're seeing. Now, it is the one that pops up and seals the pressure cooker and ensures that the pressure builds and that it holds. Please don't ever play with this part. Make sure you don't lose it. Now, the other part is this one. We've already talked about it. And you see, they all do come off. They can be washed. Now, when it comes to cleaning the inner pot, take it all out. Wash it. There you'd wash your sufuria. Wash everywhere and then put it on your dish rack. Let it dry out. Okay? Before you put it back in here, please make sure that it is totally dry. Because if it is not dry, what will happen? Water comes into contact with your electric element and poof, your thing blows up. It's going to short circuit and you're going to destroy your gadget. So please make sure that it is dry. Now the other part that you really must remember is once you wash it, water loves gathering inside here. So when you put this on your dish rack, always ensure that you keep it tilted like this. When it tilts like this, it means that the water will keep dripping out. Okay, so now let's talk about cleaning of the casing or the housing. Unatoa here. Once you've finished cleaning that, there is this groove that passes through here. Sometimes food does tend to accumulate there, or dirt. So just come with your kitamba, your kitchen towel, wipe around there. In case there is spillage that occurs inside here, what you will do is you come with your kitchen towel again, wipe in there, okay? And then once you're done wiping, if at all there are any food particles that fell over, you just come and shake it and they will all fall out. Just make sure that no water ever gets in here. Short circuit. All the EPCs always come with this part that's at the back here. This is for the collection of the condensate. So what happens is the steam sometimes ends up passing through here. Okay, so the condensation or the steam that builds on this groove usually comes through this hole that you're seeing here. Okay, that hole, and it will come and pull over here. So what you do is remove this. Okay, use a small brush to wash in here, pour out whatever is in there, use a small brush, wash it. Once it's dry, just come and put it back.
If you have any questions regarding today's episode, please make sure that you leave them in the comment section down below for me, and I'll be very happy to come and answer you. Until next time, please be safe in this Akanero, because sio kuzuri uko nje, and